Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement with Chicagoland's certified financial planning professional, your resource for information on your finances, your investments, and your retirement planning future. He is Tim Stearns, CFP, breaking all of the complex issues down so that we can make better, more informed, and well thought through decisions. Such a difficult task. And Tim, today talking about having a little luck versus planning and why too many people are probably relying on just having a little luck.
Well, I think what that comes down to, though, is that we had a 13-year bull market. So everyone and their sister thought they were Warren Buffett. And really, it's truly the Fed was propping up the market by pouring tons of money into the market to make give it gas, right? And boy, did it go, right? And then they realized that the inflation was out of control. So they're trying to shut the door on the horses that have already gotten out. And now we have people going, wow, I was either lucky or just at the right time. But either way, now I need to be more prepared for what the real market is going to be doing. And that's why we talk about, being prepared and having a preparation, having an income allocation plan.
Well, and Tim, just because we have been lucky up to a certain point, and by the way, that luck has not been without its challenges and difficulties, but by and large, over the last 10, 15, 20 years, the market has had a historic run. And really since the inception of the 401k, the market has fared phenomenally well overall, but had periods where we've had some unlucky runs or challenges in the market. That does not mean that we will continue to have good luck and fortune moving forward. We can't count and rely on that because those challenging periods have been rather unpredictable and sporadic, but man, they've been pretty significant. So I believe it was said, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. And while some investors are feeling well prepared and probably have better luck as a result, Tim, those surprises can derail our progress.
Well, I agree with that. And, best said is luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And I agree with that because preparation for an income allocation plan is really all about having your ducks in a row, making sure you know exactly how you're going to be paying your bills. Everyone comes in or calls the show and talks about accumulation. I get that. It's nice to accumulate money, but at the end of the day, how are you going to pay your bills, right? It's all about income. And how are you going to decumulate, right, safely?
Well, Tim mentioned being in touch and calling the program. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that Tim Stearns CFP is your resource office right here in Arlington Heights. Classes throughout the Chicagoland area and always available for a conversation online via Zoom or the online chat. If you would like to connect, just go to tjstearns.com, click the connect button, or give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. And really anywhere in the world, it's easy to connect these days, Tim, but you are a local resource if people would like to meet face-to-face or through the ease, the convenience of virtual meetings and through technology, accessible to get answers to questions, or more importantly, the detailed planning that you offer on each program, because there's only so much time in a day, a limited number. The first 10 callers with at least $500,000 or more saved for their retirement and investable assets are entitled to that complimentary planning review and getting that written Protect and Grow plan put together. A plan, ladies and gentlemen, specifically intended to help you protect your assets and grow your assets into your financial futures to help you achieve your specific financial and retirement goals. No cost, no obligation. Just give a call, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256, or again, go online, tjstearns.com, and there's a Connect with Us button right there at the top. So Tim, is it better to be lucky or be good or be prepared in your assessment and your decades of experience helping people plan and prepare? How many have you seen that have been lucky versus how many that you have seen that have just had the right kind of habits and discipline in place?
Well, I think a lot of people that call in that have accumulated wealth basically have done it through being entrepreneurial or taking that leap of faith with a company and getting taken care of and leaping around from maybe job to job and getting these advancements. And that's great, taking chances when you're younger. But at this stage of the game, if you are a baby boomer and you're starting to slow down a little bit as far as, work is work and you're thinking about the retirement, what is your plan? You're not going to take another leap of faith when it comes to retirement, I would hope, right? We talk about on this show that you work in the know, the KNOW, the knowledge that you are going to be okay. So what is your plan? Are you going to use those stock options? Are you going to use your 401k first? Have you looked at the 59.5 loophole? There's a lot of things out there that I think people don't know about that we're willing to engage them and tell them all about it. And go piece by piece. We're not a cookie cutter operation. We make sure that we understand what their situation is and then build from there.
Timmy, you mentioned the 59.5 loophole. What specifically is that, and where should we be perking our ears up and paying some attention?
So if you have a 401k, most of them allow, after you turn 59.5, the ability to roll your money out of there into an IRA that you could be in charge of. You could have a financial advisor manage it, et cetera. But at the end of the day, it gives you the opportunity to take charge of your own money. A lot of people lost last year in their 401ks, some cold water on the face that the market isn't going to go up all the time. And they realize that mutual funds aren't the silver bullet that they're going to be. If they could go into something that maybe might be institutional and would have stop losses and that type of thing on it, and being a little more strategic and tactical than what you see in a rank and file 401k. Now, you don't know until you know. So we are happy to make phone calls with them. We've called many different HRs or the 401k provider. It's almost like HIPAA, the Health Insurance Privacy Act. It's not like your boss is going to come up tomorrow and go, "Hey, I heard you moved your money into your own IRA. Are you thinking of leaving us?" It's a very private conversation and very exclusive to do it if you're over 59.5.
Now, Tim, as I understand it, the reason why this is becoming more and more commonplace and available inside of 401ks, companies realized that they probably shouldn't hold their employees' money captive as they were nearing and preparing for retirement in a vehicle such as a 401k that isn't necessarily geared for retirement. And then employees realize that in the final few years of their working career, in the home stretch, so to speak, that they didn't want to leave the outcome of their retirement dollars up to luck and chance and the whim and direction of the market. So hence the 59.5 opportunity. Well,
and again, to understand the 59.5, you're able to move the money out because of your age. But I want to explain that your deferral that you're putting in every 2 weeks, the match that your company gives you either as you go or once a year, what have you, that all stays the same. And so what I do with one of my siblings is anytime he amasses like $5,000 to $10,000, we do an in-service distribution back into his IRA that has stop losses.
So not necessarily just a one-time thing either.
No, some companies do have that, but many companies allow you to do it as many times as you want. A lot of them big companies around here, for example, allow you to do it as many times as you want. It's a great opportunity to take control of your own retirement. I wish more people knew about it. That brings me to my next point is come attend one of our classes. Our classes are very well attended right now because of what happened last year. If you give us a call, we'll get you into a class. You can also Zoom it from the comfort of your home. But at the end of the day, get the knowledge that you need to get retired right.
Absolutely. If you would like to retire right and find out when and where one of those upcoming classes are, pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256, open to anyone wanting to do better for your financial future, wanting to understand the challenges that we face and the approaches that help you handle and address those risks. Or you can go online again to tjstearns.com and hit the connect button, and Tim and his team will get back to you with the class schedule available and convenient for you to attend. So again, 800-640-2256 or tjstearns.com, connect button there. Tim, we're diving down a rabbit hole a little bit with this 59.5 opportunity, the in-service distribution conversation, but this is one of the steps in taking a little bit of the luck and chance off the table and giving ourselves a little bit more certainty. How about taxes on that in-service distribution? Are we suddenly going to be responsible to have to pay all of those taxes?
Of course not, because you're moving it to an IRA. So it's simply a rollover, just like you could roll over an IRA to another IRA. So it's qualified money, which means it's never been taxed by the IRS. When we move it over, that will continue that way. And I think that's just a great opportunity for people that want to really take command of what they're doing in their lives. You know, you have one shot at an ideal retirement.
Well, Tim, talking about that retirement, they tell us that we cannot accurately time the market, but so many leave their assets in the market and try to time retirement. Does that not just leave our retirement up to sheer luck and chance of the market heading in the right direction as we retire? And then what happens if we're wrong about that?
Well, one of the things that we'll show people, and we have a great piece on it, is sequence of return risk, which I would say about 95% of the population has no idea what that is. What it is an example we use is that if you are retiring into a bull market, you know, and how do you know when that's going to happen, right? But if you do, it usually bodes well for a great retirement, right? If you retire, let's say at the end of 2021, and you have 2022 where the market's down, and yet you're still drawing money from it, that's a negative sequence of returns risk, and that can be detrimental. But I'll say this, if you have a plan and you know how you're going to pay your money, because maybe you have a pension, maybe you have an annuity, maybe you have a dividend paying mutual fund, whatever that is, that's going to be able to do that, then you're not really worried about the market from day to day, right? Because you have your basic expenses being paid. That's the whole idea of an income allocation plan, is you can take your lumps in the market, you know, but at the end of the day, you know that you are able to sustain it and just keep going with your day to day.
And Tim, this is dynamically different than the old asset allocation model, which most of us have followed for decades during our working and accumulation years. Can you tell us, though, why the differentiation of having an investment plan or asset allocation versus a retirement plan and an income allocation?
I'll do that really easily. And what I'll do is I'll give you 5 years, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2008, and 2022. Asset allocation failed miserably. Why? Bonds and stocks went down. For example, last year, bonds on average were down 13%. Stocks, the best one index of all those, being the Standard & Poor's, was down 18%. So asset allocation does not work. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, and people keep doing that. Most people that come to see us have all correlated assets. They have all their money in a mutual fund that has stocks and or bonds. And what happened last year? Well, I lost. Well, you can't sustain that in a retirement. You need to be smarter when you're investing in your retirement. You know, you cannot just do asset allocation. It's a great investment strategy when you were younger. You know, in 2008 stung, right? But the good news is we are all a lot younger then. The bad news is nowadays you have a couple of the years of 2022, that could be really something that you're thinking, oh man, I need to go back to work. I read an interesting stat. Because of the market being down last year, the average retirement age went from 62.6 to now 64.8%. Because people are saying, oh man, I don't think I have enough. I'm going to go back part-time just to make sure.
So one down year in the market, Tim, moved that date back more than 2 years. That's interesting.
Right. And I see this because people don't have a plan. And having a plan is half the battle, I think, to getting into a retirement that you'll enjoy. I know most of our clients, once they do a plan, feel a lot better. And once their money is actively and strategically managed, they feel way better.
Again, if you would like to get your Protect and Grow written retirement income plan put together, just be in touch. You are welcome to give a call, 800-640-2256, or hop online, tjstearns.com, connect button on the website, tjstearns.com, or again, 800-640-2256. You can talk with Tim over the phone. You can meet in person in the Arlington Heights office, or you can hop on a call, virtual meeting, and meet face-to-face through the ease and convenience of technology. And again, the Retire Right class is available throughout the area. You can also find when an upcoming class is available near and convenient for you. 800-640-2256, the number to call. Tim, when it comes to that asset allocation, and you mentioned last year a down year, the comeback to that, though, is, yeah, but everyone lost money. Right? We lost money. We saw the markets go down. I saw my account balance fall, but everyone lost money. Can you talk about that myth or misconception, that statement and belief that just because the market's down, we have to be satisfied with the results?
If I'm retired, I'm never going to be satisfied with that statement. I want my cake and eat it too, as they say, right? So what I want to do is find a money managers, plural, that have the ability to stop me out and not lose as much as the average. And 93% of money managers don't outperform the index. So let's look for that 7% that do. Why wouldn't I? I owe that to myself. And so we do that all the time. We're looking under every nook and crevice to make sure that we find the right money managers. Are they going to be perfect all the time? Of course not. But I at least want a fighting chance, especially in the market that was last year.
Tim, I want to go back to the previous comment that one down year in the market had actually pushed the intended retirement age target back more than 2 years. That's fine if we're still working. But if we're already retired, we don't have that opportunity and that flexibility. And if we are creating income, this is pretty significantly detrimental to our outlook.
Exactly. So even if you are retired, it's never too late to get a plan together that actually spells out what's going on. The other thing we're seeing a lot more, I've been reading studies on this for our class, is that husband and wives are getting involved. The spouses are both, so that, back in the day, it used to be one or the other. My family was my mother, and now we're seeing people come in together and they're kind of getting a plan together. Why? Because, 16% of the population has pensions. The rest of us got to figure this out. And why do you think the government keeps putting off what you're going to need to take in your required minimum distributions? Because they too are concerned that people don't have enough money. So finding out if you do have enough money is part of the Protect and Grow plan that we do. And also we analyze exactly what's going on with your portfolio. We have a lot of do-it-yourselfers coming in who thought that they had it all figured out. And guess what? 2022, like I said earlier, was definitely cold water on their face and their portfolio.
Well, again, if you would like to get that plan put together, the first 10 callers to today's program with at least $500,000 or more saved for retirement, you are entitled to that complimentary planning, review, and strategy session and the written Protect and Grow retirement income plan. Just for being a listener to this program, no cost, no obligation, a sit-down strategy session with Tim Stearns, CFP, a certified financial planning professional, to help custom design your specific individual plan. Just give a call, 800-640-2256. That is 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Tim, talking about trying to eliminate luck as a factor in our plan. It's nice to have good luck, but we don't want to count and rely on it. A lot of people are sort of ignoring the potential for healthcare events and costs and expenses. And we really need to not just leave that up to luck and chance. There are certain things that we can do and financial steps that we can take to better plan and prepare for that proactively.
Yes, and that comes part and parcel with our plans. Our intake form covers all that. 7 out of 10 Americans over the age of 60 are going to need long-term care. 9 out of 10 haven't prepared for it. We talk about this with people all the time. The other thing is about 4 out of 10 people have done their estate planning. These are all the things that we cover, as they say, soup to nuts, right? So you want to make sure that you are actually having a plan. I see a lot of people still with, maybe I'll call it an advisor with XYZ company, and they come in here, oh, I don't know when I should take my Social Security. Well, has Joe Blow over at the other firm? No, he hasn't even talked about that. How about your wife? When should she take it? I have no idea. What are you doing about long-term care? Well, he's never approached us with that. I mean, these are things that need to be talked about and put out in the open so that people address how they're going to get through retirement. Otherwise, it could be really detrimental. I've seen 2 people in the past 3 months at the age of 58 have really terrible things happen to them. One was diagnosed with dementia at the age of 58. Unfortunately, she's very physically healthy. And then a buddy of mine had 2 major strokes at the age of 58, and he and his wife are trying to get through life now. So, if they had planned in advance, maybe they could have addressed some of these things, but at least know that you didn't do it and that you're taking the chance, because that's bad luck. And I don't want to see anyone going through that.
Tim, a couple kind of analogies come to mind is that we don't just, hope to be in shape. We eat right and we exercise. And then when we get to be 80, 85, we say, wow, I'm really lucky that I've been in shape my life. And we'd be right, but we also did a lot of work and discipline along the way to increase the odds and the chances. And kind of like a car as well, right? We buy a car and hope that it goes 300,000 miles, but we don't just rely on luck. We do regular routine maintenance. We fill up with gas. We do oil changes. We replace brakes. We rotate tires, all of those things. And if it makes it to 250,000, we're saying to ourselves, wow, I'm really lucky that this car has made it this far. And we'd be right. But we were also doing the routine things along the way to help increase the probability of that outcome. In our financial lives, it's the same kind of thing, right? We hope to be lucky, and then looking back when we are nearing retirement age or retired, we've built up a significant savings, a good lump sum. We've made some good choices and decisions along the way. And we say, wow, we're lucky. But in reality, it's a lot of the behavior and the habit and the routine along the way that really increased the likelihood of those things happening.
Well, I'll use my mom and dad as an example. My mom and my dad always tried to watch what they were eating. That type, especially my mother. She is still 93 years old. She went to 10 out of 11 football games for her grandson at 93 years old. She was really diligent about what she eats. She tries to still walk a couple miles a day. And then that takes me back to how they invested all the time. They had 5 children, and we all went to college. None of us came out of college with debt. We've all been successful. And that's because my parents showed us the right blueprint to doing it right, not overspending and that type of thing, having a budget. And my mom lived like that, whether it was with food or it was, our investments as a family. And I'm proud to say that she's still doing great, and that is excellent. I don't see a lot of people being able to say that at the age of 93 years old. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It takes discipline. It takes having a plan, and it takes actually doing it instead of talking about it. And, if you're out there and you're still talking about it, give us a call and let's get actioned.
You can't just read a book on on personal fitness and expect to be in shape. You got to go out and do the work, and the same with financial fitness as well. You've got to put the plan together and then work the steps in the plan and make sure that nothing can derail you and take you off track. And that is what the Protect and Grow plan process and the written retirement income plan is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you would like to take Certified Financial Planning Professional Tim Stearns, CFP, up on the offer to get answers to your questions, to help you address your concerns, to put together your specific custom individual Protect and Grow plan. Pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. He can meet you right in the Arlington Heights office in person to go through that planning review and strategy session, or you can attend one of the upcoming Retire Right classes, or you can get in touch over the computer online, tjstearns.com. Just hit the connect button and be in touch, and you can set up a virtual meeting wherever you're at in the world. But Tim Stearns, CFP, here as your resource to help you put that Protect and Grow plan together. 800-640-2256, the number to call. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, you've also got a resource that you've made available here on the program. I think it goes well with the theme of this program, which is the 7 common financial myths, right? If we're talking about luck versus preparedness, probably one of the things that we need to do is eliminate relying on myths or misconceptions or common mistakes in the financial world.
Our piece here is called 7 Financial Myths. And I'll just say some of the topics because we are running out of time today. But number 1, the markets always go up. 2000 to 2010 was known as the lost decade because the market really didn't do anything. Number 2, the 10% average market return. We've just talked about this a couple of weeks ago on our program, that the market actually over the past 22 years, including last year, averaged less than 5%. That's with a 13-year bull market, by the way. Number 3, a 4% retirement cash flow. That's been proven to fail 67% of the time. Number 4, taxes will be lower in retirement. And I asked that in class. Everyone gives me a thumbs up that they think taxes are going up. Number 5, I don't need life insurance once I retire. There's a lot of life insurance hybrids out there that have and address long-term care. Number 6, I can rely on my investment plan for retirement. If you're doing asset allocation, I thoroughly disagree with that. Number 7, it's too late to plan. I don't have enough. I will give an example of one of our clients that talked about how she didn't want to come see me because she was afraid what I might tell her. Well, she is happily retired and she's all set. So I would tell anyone out there that is worried that they're not going to be able to retire, give us a call and let's see if we can get you through it.
Well, I would say a few more, Tim, that capturing the match on a 401k is going to be enough to retire on, and inflation won't impact my retirement. A lot of plans are actually based on a flat income throughout retirement, don't project inflation. And so we need to address that. It's all part of the Protect and Grow plan, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to take advantage of that opportunity, again, just be one of the first 10 to be in touch from today's program. You can go online, tjstearns.com, and just click the connect button or give a call. That's the easiest way. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim Stearns, Certified Financial Planning Professional, CFP, is the resource for so many in and across the Chicagoland area to have more confidence in stability and quality of life in retirement. But so many more need that help and assistance. And if that's you, or if you'd just like to double check on things, make sure you're doing it right, or you'd like to hear more about any of the strategies that Tim describes on the program, pick up the phone, give a call now, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, always a pleasure, and we appreciate the time that you take, the insight that you give, the perspective and guidance you provide.
Thanks, Peter.
Tune into Chicagoland Certified Financial Planner Tim Stearns' full radio program and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.